Hey guys, so over the past several years I've realized a common theme in our Autel community, and that's not being able to utilize the tool to its full capacity. Alright, and there's several reasons why. A, you're under pressure, you have a client that wants their car back, so you don't really have time to be exploring different things, and B, going into the unknown could be detrimental for your client. If you do something, there could be delays, there could be a lot of things that could come up that could screw up your client's car worse than when it came in. So what I want to do in this presentation, I'm not only going to show you some cool features on the tool, but there's something that I want you to learn when you get to a stumbling block. Sometimes the resources are right in front of you, but you just need a little bit of guidance in order to realize that. Alright, so with that being said, let's jump into it. So I titled this case study Mini Cooper, car won't start after DME replacement. Alright, and for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Curtis Harden. I'm an Autel consultant. Basically what I do is I specialize in the sales of the tool, and I render the transformation to the clients I sell to. Okay, so with that being said, here's the case study. The client is working with the Maxisys Elite, and he is in the auto repair industry. And the vehicle we're going to be looking at today is a 2007 Mini Cooper. And the procedure is to program the DME and instrument cluster. So just to give you guys a little bit of background, the client installed a DME and wanted me to walk him through the programming procedure. After the procedure, there was a follow-up coding / synchronization special function that was not supported by the Maxisys Elite. Alright, now these are some tools you will need in order to do this. Alright, the first thing, you need the right scan tool. Alright, a lot of people get confused when they're looking online because they see that they have the impression that our stage 1, stage 2 devices can do programming. They can't. You need a stage 3 device. So that includes the Maxisys Elite, the MS908P, SP, and the MK908P. Alright, those are anything with a J2534 and our tools are basically what you can do to conduct this procedure. The second thing you need is a battery maintainer, okay? Not a battery charger. Alright, there's a huge difference. So a charger, if you ever look on your scanner on the top right, there's a voltage indicator of the voltage of your battery. You'll see it doing this, going from like 13 to 11 to 10. Now if that drops too low, you could brick the ECU, and European cars are very known for doing this. Alright, so you need a battery maintainer because you can control the voltage, and it's stabilized. It's going to stay like this at a steady current. Alright, so that's very important. Alright, now after you have those tools, what we're going to do is when you open the software, alright, you're going to click Selective Programming. Alright, let's just go there. And selective programming is a feature where you can choose which module that you want to program. And for those of you who work on BMWs, there's been stories where when you replace a module, you actually have to program all of them, and it takes a couple days sometimes. There's ways around it, but with our tool, you can select which module you want to program. Okay, which is the second step. So as you can see, it says programming, encoding, and replace. All you do is just click the checkbox of the one you want to do. Alright, so after you do that, you're going to click OK to start the measurement plan. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go on Autel servers and download those calibration files to the scanner. Okay? And then from there, once you do that, you just follow the prompts. Okay, it's not rocket science. It's very, very, very simple process. All right, download complete. Press OK to continue. So we're going to press OK, and then turn off the engine. and then switch the ignition back on after 15. Alright, and then we're going to start programming these modules. And you can see the Autel is going to give you the progress bar, and it's just going to go down the lane. Alright, I'm not going to go through all that for you guys. Let me just speed this up. Boom, boom, boom. And periodically it will tell you to take out the key, turn off the ignition and stuff like that. Alright, so you just follow the prompts. Alright, until everything says successful. Alright, then after you do this procedure, what I always like to do is erase any error codes that come up. Right, so the next step is to perform the diagnostic scan, just to see what comes up and stuff. And you can see we still have a fault here under the DME. So when we investigate that, I'm going to go read codes. There we go, read codes. We're going to get this code here. Alright, and just to blow it up for you guys, it stands for the Digital Motor Electronic DME EWS Electronic Vehicle Immobilization System Anti-Tampering Protection. Okay, what does this mean? So basically the vehicle's ECU and immobilizer system have lost synchronization. In other words, it means that the main engine computer is no longer getting the message it needs from the immobilizer to start the engine. Alright, now why is this? Alright, I always like to know why. It just bugs me. I don't, I know you guys want the end result, but I want to know. So I'm going to explain why into terms where almost a 4-year-old can understand. All right, because what's going to happen is when you try to start the car, it's not going to start. All right, here's why. All right, so there are several control units correlated with each other in order for this vehicle to start. So first we have the engine control module. Second, we have the CAS control module, and last we have the EWS module. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the EWS due to the fact that this component is necessary in order for these other modules to actually get the vehicle to start. It all starts with the EWS, okay? So, the EWS basically has two functions. It's an anti-theft system function, and it has the start enable device function. There is a 128-bit code that's, let's say, infused into the engine control module and the CAS module. Now, when this code is programmed into these modules, it can no longer be deleted or changed. Okay? This means that each control unit is, let's say, assigned to that specific vehicle. So, let me make this make sense, guys. All these modules have this code embedded into it. Alright, so when you replace with a used module, alright, that used module isn't assigned to this vehicle anymore. It's still assigned to the other one, and that's one of the main reasons why your car will not start. Okay, now the CAS control unit and the EWS control unit, they kind of share that 128-bit code, right? Now when you turn on the ignition, if the identification process is correct, right, what happens is the CAS control unit will start the starter motor. It activates the starter motor via the relay in the control unit, and then at the same time the CAS control module will send that what they call it, an enable signal, like that 128-bit code, to the DME, which will then signal the ignition to start. Okay, so keep this in mind. The DME control unit only enables the engine to start if it can extract that code from the CAS module. Alright, so to put this in perspective, guys, the EWS has that rolling code, basically. And then when you start the engine, it's going to check if the CAS module has that code. And if it does, then it's going to pass it on to the DME, and then that's when the car is going to be able to start. Alright, now I'm going to dive a little bit into the CAS system, because this is also something that a lot of people replace as well. The CAS system regulates the access options to the vehicle, and it's the master control unit for the following systems: the electronic immobilizer, the central locking system, the comfort agency system, electric steering lock, and the power windows. Right? Now, anytime, I wouldn't say anytime, but the majority of the time you replace these modules, whether it's the CAS or the DME, you need to do a follow procedure called a CAS adjustment. Okay? Now, what's great about the Autel software, when you do this procedure, what's going to happen is our tool is going to read the EWS drive enable code from the CAS, and then it's going to transfer it into the engine control unit. This means that the engine control unit and the CAS control unit will then mutually link. They're going to be married again. All right? And that's what we're doing now. We do have this feature on our tool, and the way you would get there is you would go to Hot Functions, Emo and Key, Digital Motor Electronics, and then you just follow the prompts. You press F1, F2, F3. But with this particular vehicle, this function wasn't on there. All right? Now, what would most people do at this point? All right? You would send it to the stealers, aka the dealers. All right? It's going to charge you a lot of money. It's going to charge you a lot of time. And a lot of you guys, you know, would give up on this point. And that's, I understand. You know, you don't have time to be fiddling with stuff, but not on my watch. All right? So in this case, this is when I would encourage the client to actually sign up for BMW's online service system. All right. Now, BMW created this platform for independent workshops to provide extensive range of resources. You're basically having the dealer software in your workshop, okay? And you know, you get access to test plans, repair instructions, technical data, and etc. Okay, you need a Windows 10 laptop to do this. All right. The second thing you need is a subscription with BMW, which is $30 for 1 day, and then you need to use your J2534. Okay. Now BMW has two applications. One is called ISTA, and this is for your diagnostic software, which we're going to be using to conduct this relearning procedure. And then there's ISTA P, which is used to program modules. All right, so there's two softwares. Now, let me show you what this looks like. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click Vehicle Management, click Service Functions, and then Adjustment. And from there, we're going to click, there we go, we're going to click Adjustment. And then we're going to click Display. Alright, and then we're going to look for a feature called DME CAS Adjustment. Alright, and click Next. Follow the instructions. DME ready to receive starting value. I'm gonna wait for this thing to be done. Give it about 3, 2, 1. Alright, and then the next step would be select number 2, select adjust reset starting value, and when you do this, you just follow the prompts, turn terminal off, wait, turn it on, then engine can be started, you click next, and then that service procedure is done. Alright, now common question, can I use an installed module? Or not an installed module. Can I install a used module? The answer is yes, you can. Alright, but I've noticed on the older vehicles from, like, let's say 2000 to 2010, you have a higher success rate using used modules. When you get from 2010 newer and newer models, you kind of get they want you to buy a new one. All right, but that's kind of what I've been able to see. The second thing you need to check out is if the module is suited for the year, make, and model of that particular vehicle. Sometimes we get the incorrect year, and when you put it on, you're doing programming, it's not going to work, and you're not going to know why, but it's because you have the wrong year, make, and model. And then lastly, you have to make sure the part numbers are the same. And let me show you an example of this. This is one of my clients. who gave me a clear picture. On the left, we have the damaged or original module, and then on the right, we have the used module. And if you look carefully, okay, you could see that all these part numbers are the same. All right, this is very important. All right, now this is something that happens to a lot of people. What are signs of an incompatible module? All right, there's different scenarios, but I'll just share with you one, let's say, strategy that you can use to verify if your module is incorrect or not. So here's another case study. Client was working on a BMW 523i 2008, and he needs to program an electric fuel pump. They call it the EKP. So the client's customer purchased the fuel pump and asked to have it programmed. When the client installed the fuel pump module, he was not able to find the option to program the module even after I verified it with the engineers that the function was available. So the solution was to conduct the data logging to analyze the overall health of that module. So that's exactly what we did. All right, and I'm going to show you. So once I got in there, I logged into his tablet through TeamViewer, and the first thing I wanted to see was I need to verify if the programming option was there. All right, engineers told me before that it was, so everything they tell me, I take for gospel. They haven't been incorrect on me yet. All right, so once I got in there, all right, I go to selective update. So I'm looking, and I'm gonna highlight it for you guys. I'm gonna scroll down right there. You can see right there in red. There's no checkboxes. All right. So that was the first red flag. Okay, that was the first red flag. So the second thing I wanted to do was go to the control unit directly and see if there was communication. Because if there's no communication, then that would be another red flag. All right. So you just go to Diagnosis. All right. Let me go to Diagnosis. Drive. You can see it right there. EKP fuel pump control. So let's see if this thing connects. All right. Working. All right. Another red flag. All right, no communication. All right, and if you put on a new one, you should at least be able to get an error code on it. All right, but we couldn't get anything. So I'm like, you know what? Something's not right. So to get confirmation, I did what they call a data logging. Okay, so this is critical, guys. And a data logging is basically, if you look on the top right of the tablet, there's this little icon. It looks like a little chat icon, right? When you click that, you can submit your data logging. Now, the problem of this service is Autel gets billions of these a minute, all right? And you're only gonna get a response back maybe a month, sometimes 2 weeks later, okay? But there's a service and a system and a software that I developed that can typically get results the next day. All right, and that's what we did. So the last step is to test, check, and inspect. So once I submitted the data logging on behalf of my client, the engineer said, Kurt, they said they confirmed that the programming function is available for the car, but they believe that there could be an issue with the module itself, right? Then I had the client check, and this is his email. He said, Kurt, I checked to make sure there was no communication that failed. So after a long check, I analyzed the problem, and then with the new EKP module, and he felt that the EKP module was, the issue. So he said he'll get a different one and see if it will work, and he'll update me soon. All right. So that's why I think it's important to have, that connection so you can speed up the results and stuff, because you don't have a couple weeks to wait, So in summary, guys, when programming, use a battery maintainer, all right, not a regular battery charger. Second, when replacing a DME module or CAS module, you need to do what they call the CAS adjustment, Alright, and third, if a CAS adjustment is not present, you can use the J2534 with the BMW subscription to complete the CAS adjustment. Alright, make sure if you're going to do this yourself, you need a lot of time to set this software up. It's quite a big file. I'm good at that, so you can hire me to do that. Lastly, if you're not sure if the module you replaced is not correct, alright, submit a data lodging to validate if the module is correct. Alright. You could call Autel New York. I don't know if they offer that service, but that's what you need to do in order to verify if the module you put on is correct. So you guys, that's it. I hope you learned from this presentation. If you would like to place your order on the tool, you can go to auteltech.co.za, fill in the application, and you can talk to me for a consultation before you purchase. And from there, you'll get the tool. You can pay via PayPal, and then you'll be able to, get in a situation like this. But I can really make sure that you're using every aspect of the tool. All right. So with that, you guys, you have a great one, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.